Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building a post-apocalyptic factory is what I'm calling it. Now, this is what I was warning you about, and I think yesterday's video or the last video, I was having some issues having creativity when I was building, so I just went full creativity and built this, which is basically just a rundown factory, and it's mostly debug stuff other than walls and like a couple things. But I just really was feeling the post-apocalyptic stuff, or just, current apocalyptic stuff. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to tell. But that's just what I was doing. It kind of started with the wood block that I painted, which was kind of just an abandoned building. But then, I built this, and you're going to see another thing tomorrow for it. This is just kind of what you get. I was kind of just needing a break from basic boring houses, apparently. And so I built this, and I think it looks really cool. And I was looking through debug the first time, like that's like what I was first in, and then I started doing walls and like putting all those industrial stuff down. And I built this in Evergreen Harbor because it's kind of run down to begin with because it's like industrial, and so it's got like trash all over it, so kind of fits the vibe and stuff like that, but also because it's got like a train thing in the background and it's kind of industrial over in this area, so I thought it fit. But then also I just like added like a bunch of like things everywhere, and it kind of goes like off the lot, like not like like you can't actually do that, but like if you rotate them like a certain way, it'll like look like it's kind of going off the lot, so it kind of fits. And I put like a fence, like a debug fence, like all of the way around it, so it kind of looks contained. But if you just take it from the right, like take screenshots from the right angle, it looks like it fits quite well. But this is what I built, and so I was scrolling through debug for a good majority of the filming process. But I got these buildings, and like they're supposed to be just like kind of like falling apart, so like there's like walls missing, and the buildings, I feel like if they were not in the middle of an apocalypse, I feel like they had been connected, because you can see that I started with this like hallway kind of thing going to them, and then there's like a hole on the other side, but like they're not connected because like they probably like fell or like broke apart or something like that. But they're not connected anymore, but I feel like they were connected at one point, because it's kind of just weird to have just two separate buildings inside of an area. But also, I put some beds in the inside of the downstairs of the one on the left. So maybe it's like inhabited by either like there's some military trucks, or like kind of like they're Strangerville trucks, but that's like kind of what I was thinking. So maybe by them, or maybe just like some civilians that are just like in the middle of an apocalypse, something like that. But I thought that was fun because they're like pretty cheap, like blow up beds, like camping beds. So I put those down there because I thought that was funny. And so it's very trashed, which I feel like fits like the vibe because it's very industrial, but it's got like everything everywhere. As I said earlier, there are two like trucks. They're like, one of them's on its side, and I think one of them's right side up, but they're from the debug from Strangerville, and I thought that was really cool. But I was like searching through different packs and like seeing what I was like trying to look for, because a majority of the debug stuff is either from Strangerville or the Eco Lifestyle pack, because a lot of the trash or like the containers that you can see, and the big brown thing in the back, I don't exactly know what it is, but that one's also from Eco Lifestyle, because that's like kind of what inspired like exactly what I was gonna do. And so a lot of it got from Eco Lifestyle, and I thought I was going to have a lot more with like Get to Work or like Get Famous, and I like got nothing from those packs, so I don't really know. But then I also covered it with vines, because I feel like the plant life would really just like take over and like grow up the sides of the wall, and like the grass is all grown out and it's all like muddy. I don't know if the muddy's probably like very, very last, like the last thing I do. I don't even know if it made it into the video at that point. I also forgot an entire floor in one of the buildings, which is my fault, but I didn't film it, but it is in the screenshots. It's now covered in boxes. I don't really know what goes in a building, and also I feel like most of the things in like The Sims doesn't really fit this kind of vibe, which is probably, it makes a lot of sense because no one's building and like playing in like this stuff like all of the time. So it makes sense that they wouldn't have very much, but I feel like just like some leather couch and like a cute TV, or just not like the kind of things that you'd want. I feel like there are a couple things in like the normal like just buy menu that could fit in here, but I didn't really like put majority of it. I just put some rundown stuff and some bookshelves, because I feel like I don't really know exactly what is like you'd put in a factory, especially the stuff that you're limited to with The Sims. but I just put some like desks. I put those like listening devices that are from Strangerville. I thought that those were kind of fun, and so it's just a bunch of debug stuff, and I thought it was pretty cool. But that's about it for the build, so I'm going to move on to things that are upcoming and stuff that I've already done this week. The first thing is a panel, which I'm going to explain. But we're reading a book called The Kite Runner. You don't need to know anything about the book to understand the things that I'm talking about. However, I was just going to mention that that is the book we're reading and I have to like analyze it. I'm going to figure out words one of these days. But I have to analyze it for like different questions because I have a panel upcoming, and so a panel is just basically just a discussion group, but we have these panel leaders, so she put us in groups, and my group is fine. It's a bunch of people that I know, so it's all good. But we have to come up with questions and like lead the discussion group for the class, and I am very, very worried about it. One, none of us are talkative. The entirety of the group is not talkative at all. And the one panel that they had like a practice panel, and I was gone that day at the dentist. Went all fine. But then the next day we had like an actual panel, and that was my first day, and I didn't talk at all. Was not surprised by that one. Don't think anybody was surprised by that. However, this one I kind of have to talk, and also I think I'm getting graded by how many times I talk. So we'll see, but I think it'll be a bit easier because I know exactly what I'm supposed to be saying, because giving my opinion is very hard for me, and it makes me very, very shy, especially when people ask for opinions, which is basically what this entire discussion is opinionated like stuff on like things that happen in the book. And so I don't really have anything to incorporate to conversations because my brain just doesn't think in opinions because it knows that it doesn't want to say opinions, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense to some of you, but my brain just doesn't do opinions. But maybe when we're asking questions, it'll be a little bit easier, but based on the one we did on Thursday? I think it was Thursday. We're gonna see, but I'm also a little bit nervous because usually it's just us as a group sitting in the front. We've moved like all of the tables and stuff in the classroom, but we sit up front and we ask questions, and then we just like kind of like have other people answer questions, which isn't that bad. But a lot of the people in Thursday's group talked a lot, but we also have some extroverted people in our classes, so I don't know, but they talked a lot, and I don't think I can talk that much. Like, it's not gonna happen. Which I also put in my journal because we had like a full-on like journal analysis for our last project in between like The Great Gatsby and The Kite Runner. But I mentioned that I don't talk because she wanted us to like go over our process and like think about how we grew. And so she wanted us to like talk about our like or I think it was talking, writing, like presentational skills, and thinking, I think were like the things. And she wanted us to like talk about how we did before and then how we are now. And I was talking like I don't talk. I have never talked, and I don't like it. And I was like, that's not gonna change. I was very just like out like there. It's not gonna change. You're not gonna get me to talk. I'm hoping she understands that in the slightest, like in a little bit. I'm gonna need this much understanding, and I'm hoping something happens, but I don't know. But she's just very adamant about me giving my opinion, and that's just not gonna happen. Sorry to my English teacher, not gonna happen. I don't know what you're expecting, but we'll see. But I'm hoping she doesn't direct any questions back at me because you're gonna get me crying. It's gonna happen. If she like tries to be like, what is your opinion on this, Hannah? You're not getting anything from me. I'm gonna run out of the classroom. Just bye. Probably not actually, because that's embarrassing. However, I'm probably just gonna try and hold back my, panic attack and crying, which is always fun. But back to the dentist thing, because I don't really have anything to talk about for this because I don't want to get upset or mad. But the dentist that I had on one day when I missed the practice panel, it went fine. She told me I had small teeth, which was one thing I thought was really weird. But I've had this dentist since my first ever dentist appointment. But she mentioned that my teeth were small, and I'm just like, what? Like, how do you, like, I guess I've never thought about my teeth being small. I guess they are kind of small, but my gums just kind of go onto my teeth, which is a thing I know. And we talk about that, like, every time we go to or I go to the dentist, because it's like an issue because it causes issues with my teeth. But it makes my teeth look small. And she straight up was just like, your teeth are really small. And that was like before she mentioned like the my gum issue again, because she does it every single time. But you can pull back the gum on my teeth. Very strange, very weird, I know. But the gums go above my teeth in the cracks. It doesn't make that much sense, but that's fine. But when you pull it back, you can still see that my teeth are small. I got that. But it was just a very strange thing for her to say, because one, that's like such a random thing for her to say. But I guess she's a dentist. But it was still just very just like, your teeth are small. So I don't really know at all. But then she also told me I had an inflamed throat. She was like, have you gotten a cold recently? And I was like, no. And then she was like, oh, your throat's very inflamed. My throat doesn't hurt. Well, it hurts now because I've been talking for the past 45 minutes straight. Almost straight. But it hasn't hurt like when I'm being normal. So I'm really unsure what that's happening. But, very fun dentist appointment. Had no cavities. Went all good other than that. Small teeth and inflamed throat. My friends kept making fun of that. I don't know. One of them couldn't say it correctly, so she said small throat, inflamed tooth. It was great. But that was just basically all of Thursday morning was that discussion. But, that was pretty fun. But that's basically all that has happened this week. So I've got one more voiceover, but we're going to talk about this weekend, because it's not interesting enough for me to make another topic about this week. But it is almost screenshots time, so I'm going to stop right here. So subscribe if you did like today's video, if you want to see any more like this. But I do post 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video tomorrow. Bye!